Welcome back to Empowered Creative Living for Authors and Aspiring Writers podcast. It's the week before Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And, well, lots of folks are probably like finalizing their shopping lists, right?
Definitely.
We are going to dive into something kind of different today.
I like it.
A whole stack of blog posts
by
author Regina Paul.
Cool.
Our listener sent these in knowing they'd be just perfect for this time of year.
Makes sense.
So,
yeah, what's fascinating here is that Regina Paul isn't just an author.
Right.
She's also an artist and intuitive based in Seattle.
Wow.
Her blog posts, while full of book recommendations,
Yeah.
they kind of give us like a glimpse into the mind of a creative who is so clearly passionate about Christmas and helping fellow writers.
I love that.
It's great.
So, okay, let's unpack this first post. Books to inspire the Christmas spirit.
Right.
She doesn't just throw a random list at us.
Right.
She's thoughtfully categorized everything.
Oh, nice.
We've got classics, modern faith-based, children's reflective diverse voices,
Wow.
and even mysteries.
Mysteries for Christmas.
I know, right?
That's cool.
Pretty cool.
That categorization strategy is smart on like multiple levels.
Yeah.
It signals to readers that Paul understands like how broad the Christmas genre is, which builds trust.
Totally.
Plus, it makes navigating the recommendations so much easier for someone like you listening,
Exactly.
looking for a very specific kind of read.
For sure. And she's got some real gems in each category.
Yeah.
Of course, there's A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, a classic for a reason.
Always a good one.
But also Little Women.
Okay.
Which, while not exclusively a Christmas story, has those iconic, cozy family scenes.
Paul's inclusion of Little Women highlights a subtle point.
Yeah.
Christmas can function as like a powerful backdrop, even in stories that aren't explicitly holiday themed.
Oh, interesting.
It adds a layer of like warmth and familiarity that many readers just find irresistible read this time of year.
Totally. In her modern category,
she's
recommending The Christmas Bookshop by Jenny Colgan.
Oh, fun.
Sounds right up my alley.
I can see that.
I mean, who doesn't love a story about saving a bookshop, especially during the holidays?
It just speaks to the power of like niche marketing.
Right.
Paul knows her audience,
Yeah.
likely enjoys heartwarming tales, maybe with a dash of romance. And this recommendation fits that bill perfectly.
For sure.
You as a listener might want to consider how your own work can tap into like those specific seasonal interests.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
And speaking of romance,
Yeah.
Paul doesn't shy away from including some steamier titles in her list. One Day in December by Josie Silver sounds like a classic holiday romance.
Yeah.
But then she throws in A Spirit for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Her own book, which she describes as an MN romance.
This is where it gets really interesting. MM romance refers to a genre focused on romantic relationships between two men.
Okay.
By including her own work in this category, Paul is kind of subtly signaling to readers that she's a part of this specific community.
It's also a great example of how authors can leverage their platforms to promote their own work without being overly pushy. She's providing value through these recommendations, but also saying, hey, I write in this genre too. Check out my book.
It's a technique worth noting for any aspiring author. Building a community around your genre and subtly weaving in your own work can be far more effective than just shouting about your latest release.
Absolutely. And she doesn't stop there. Paul has a whole separate blog post dedicated to A Spirit for Christmas.
Nice.
Where she's running a giveaway for a signed copy.
Oh, cool.
And
so offering a signed copy
Right.
adds a layer of personalization and exclusivity that can be incredibly appealing to readers.
For sure.
Especially around the holidays. Think about it. If you were browsing for a new book and saw the option for a signed copy, wouldn't you be more likely to choose that one?
Absolutely. It's like getting a little piece of the author's world delivered right to your doorstep.
Exactly.
And you know what? Speaking of exploring Regina Paul's world, we should mention her website.
Oh, for sure.
If you're intrigued by what we've discussed so far, head over to www.reginapaul.com.
I'll have to check that out.
You can check out her books, explore her blog, and even enter that giveaway for A Spirit for Christmas.
Sounds good.
So
it's a great reminder that for authors, having like a central hub, like a website, is crucial. It's where readers can find all your information, connect with you, and ultimately become like loyal fans.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, going back to her blog. What really struck me is that Paul doesn't just recommend her own Christmas romances.
Yeah.
She's got a post highlighting a 5-star review for Alien Deceptions.
Interesting.
Suggesting she writes in other genres, too.
This is a savvy move. It shows versatility and broadens her appeal.
Totally.
You know, if you're a reader who enjoys sci-fi but also loves a good Christmas tale, you're more likely to stick with an author who can offer both.
I see your point.
Have you ever considered branching out into a different genre yourself?
It's definitely something to think about.
I think so.
But before we get sidetracked,
okay,
let's dive into some of her other blog posts.
Right.
There's one titled, "Should Romance Authors Speak Their Mind?"
Interesting.
Which suggests she's not afraid to tackle potentially controversial topics.
This hints at a bigger conversation happening within, like, the author community,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It raises questions about an author's role beyond just writing. Do they have a responsibility to speak out on social issues? Should they use their platform for activism?
Right.
It's something you, as an author, might be grappling with as well.
Definitely. And then there's a post about Wolf Dreams.
Okay.
A free serial romance she's writing.
Cool.
It seems she's constantly creating content.
Yeah.
And finding new ways to engage readers.
This is a brilliant strategy for building a loyal audience. By offering free content,
Right.
Paul is giving readers a taste of her writing style.
Yeah.
And encouraging them to invest in her work further.
For sure.
Serializing the story adds another layer of engagement, keeping readers coming back for more week after week.
I like it.
It's a smart move.
Yeah, I agree.
This Wolf Dream serial is like a great example of thinking outside the traditional publishing box. You know, it's a way for her to connect, like, directly with readers, build anticipation for, like, future works.
Yeah.
And maybe even gather feedback during the writing process.
That's interesting.
Have you ever considered experimenting with a serial format yourself?
It's an intriguing idea, especially for building a dedicated readership.
For sure.
But shifting gears a bit,
Okay.
let's go back to some of the recurring elements on Paul's blog.
All right.
She's got an About Me section, which seems pretty standard.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is the language she uses.
Oh, okay.
She describes herself not just as an author,
Right.
but as an artist and intuitive.
That word choice is telling.
Yeah.
It suggests that Paul sees her writing as an extension of her broader creative and spiritual self.
I see.
It's not just a job, it's an integral part of who she is.
Right.
This could resonate deeply with readers who are drawn to authors with, like, a strong sense of purpose.
Definitely. She also has a prominent Buy My Books section.
Oh, yeah.
With a direct link to her bookstore.
This is crucial for any author trying to, like, make a living from their work.
Right.
By prominently displaying her bookstore link. Paul is making it easy for interested readers to purchase her books directly.
Right.
Cutting out the middleman and potentially increasing her profits.
Yeah, it's a good strategy. And she doesn't shy away from affiliate links either.
Smart.
There's a section where she recommends various products.
Okay.
Likely earning a commission on any purchases made through those links.
Affiliate marketing can be a valuable income stream for authors.
Yeah.
Especially those building an online presence.
For sure.
By recommending products related to their niche. In Paul's case, writing art, maybe even Christmas-themed items.
Right.
She's providing value to her readers.
Totally.
While also generating revenue for herself.
It's a smart business move.
Yeah.
And it reinforces the idea that being a successful author today requires more than just writing talent.
Oh, absolutely.
You need to be an entrepreneur, a marketer, and a savvy online navigator.
Absolutely. And, you know, speaking of savvy online navigation, we have to circle back to Regina Paul's website.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't already, take a moment to visit www.reginapaul.com.
Good idea.
You can explore her blog, get a feel for her brand, and even see how she structures her online store.
Right.
It's a great learning opportunity for any author, regardless of genre or experience level.
I agree. Now, before we wrap up our deep dive, I wanted to touch on one more aspect of Paul's blog that really struck me.
Yeah.
She has a post titled 5 Tips for Writing Believable Christmas Miracles in Fantasy Romance.
Wow.
It's a very specific topic.
Right.
But it reveals a lot about her approach to writing.
That's a great observation. By sharing writing tips, Paul is positioning herself as, like, an expert in her genre.
Right.
She's not just telling stories.
Yeah.
She's also teaching others how to craft compelling narratives.
That's a good point.
This can be incredibly valuable for building a loyal audience.
Yeah.
Especially among aspiring writers who are looking for guidance.
It also suggests a level of generosity. and a willingness to share her knowledge with the writing community.
Right.
It's like she's saying, hey, we're all in this together. Yeah. Let's support each other and create amazing stories.
And that sense of community is so crucial.
Yeah.
Especially in a field that can often feel solitary.
I agree.
By fostering a sense of connection and shared purpose.
Right.
Paul is not only helping other writers, she's also building a network of support for herself.
It's a win-win situation.
Exactly.
And it speaks to the power of collaboration and mentorship within the writing world.
And, this brings us back to a point we touched on earlier.
Yeah.
The importance of building a platform as an author. It's not just about selling books. It's about cultivating relationships, sharing your expertise, and contributing to a larger community.
It's about creating a space where readers and fellow writers feel seen, heard, and inspired.
Beautifully said.
Okay.
And that, I think, is a perfect segue into our final thoughts on Regina Paul and her work.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive into Regina Paul's blog, I'm struck by how much we've uncovered beyond just book recommendations. We've gotten a glimpse into her marketing strategies, her approach to community building, and even her philosophy on the role of an author these days.
It's a reminder that for authors today, the work doesn't end with the final draft.
For sure.
Building a platform, engaging with readers, and constantly creating content.
Yeah.
Those are all essential pieces of the puzzle.
And Paul's blog serves as a fantastic model.
Absolutely.
For how to do this effectively.
I think so.
She's providing value through recommendations, sharing her expertise, and even generating income through affiliate links and her own bookstore.
It's a reminder that creativity and business savvy can go hand in hand.
Totally.
You as an author can be passionate about your art while also being strategic about building a sustainable career.
One thing that keeps coming back to me is how Paul seamlessly blends her personal interests with her professional life.
Right.
She's an author.
Yes.
But she's also an artist and intuitive, and those elements are woven throughout her blog.
This authenticity can be incredibly appealing to readers.
For sure.
It allows them to connect with the author on a deeper level.
Right.
Not just as a creator of stories, but as a whole person with passions and beliefs.
And speaking of passions, let's not forget the central theme.
Oh, yeah.
Running through all of this, the magic of Christmas stories.
Paul's blog reminds us that there's something enduring about Christmas tales. Whether they're classic or modern, romantic or mysterious.
I agree.
They tap into universal themes of hope, family, and the spirit of giving, offering comfort and escape, especially during the holiday season.
And for those of you looking for a new Christmas read, I highly recommend checking out Regina Paul's A Spirit for Christmas.
Sounds good.
It's a unique blend of romance and magical realism.
Okay.
And as we discussed, it's part of a genre that's gaining popularity.
Reading within a specific genre can help you understand its conventions. Target audience and potential opportunities.
Right.
Who knows, maybe A Spirit for Christmas will spark an idea. For your own holiday masterpiece.
Before we sign off, I want to emphasize one last time.
Okay.
If you haven't visited www.reginapaul.com yet, make sure to do so.
It's a great website.
It's a treasure trove of information, inspiration, and resources for both readers and writers alike.
You might find yourself browsing her book recommendations, entering her giveaway, or even getting lost in her blog posts. And who knows, maybe you'll discover a new favorite author or find the spark for your next creative project.
As the holidays approach, let's all embrace the spirit of giving, sharing, and spreading joy through our words and actions.
And may your days be merry and bright.
Oh, I'd love that.
Filled with the warmth of good stories and the company of loved ones.
Thank you for listening to Empowered Creative Living for Authors and Aspiring Writers podcast.